GM, good afternoon. I think I fixed it.
All right. Yeah, we just had a call. One of our candidates is starting a week late, so we got a little late jump on this. So, um, yeah, I think Amy's still taking the blow off that one. Anyway, hi everybody. This is not going to be like your typical roast where we're horribly mean to you. If you want to jump up and let us kind of look at your LinkedIn profile, we're going to give you a little bit of shit about it probably and tell you a good direction to go in. I'm Richie. I founded the recruiting division of Underground Admins, working with Amy. I've been recruiting for about 12 years now, going on 12 years. Seen a lot of weird taglines over the years. I'm going to disclaim this right now. If you have a job, I don't care what your tagline is. I had a Liam Neeson quote for 2 years or something like that. And no one cared. And that was funny. It drew attention. But if you're job seeking, should be concise and understandable so that the recruiters looking for you can find you. I'll turn it over to Amy.
Hey, yeah, okay. So if anyone wants their headline roasted, just raise your hand and we'll talk to you for a minute, look over, see what we can give advice on. At the end, I think we'll give more like general advice on the headline and what makes you searchable for recruiters and HR.
Yeah. Real quick before we do that, Kevin's new guest. He's one of our recruiting top voices here on LinkedIn. He makes a lot of funny videos. But Kevin, why don't you quick introduce yourself before we start grabbing people for the stage?
I mean, I can start, right? Like, my tagline was, all right, so real quick, let me give context before everybody laughs. My favorite rapper of all time, his name is Jadakiss. He has this tagline that he is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
How old are you?
Don't you dare. Okay? Don't you dare. Red light, green light, Foursquare.
Yeah.
Y'all remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, are we
Nah,
roasting
but
each other?
Yeah,
oh,
I
100%.
mean,
You gotta start with me. So my tagline was your favorite unicorn's favorite unicorn for
oh
like
boy.
6 months. Ooh. And then I changed it and I was like, genius. Your favorite recruiter's favorite recruiter. Duh. So whoops. And
Wow.
so that's me. Welcome. Thank you guys.
It's
And
awesome.
you've since changed it to be more directed at what you're recruiting for. I know you recruit for other stuff because I talked to Adam quite a bit. But you're mostly in recruiting for Web3.
Yeah, so yeah, for the most part, Web3, blockchain, and tech, kind of emerging technologies, AI as of late. But yeah, for the most part, I stick kind of in the emerging technology space.
What is Web3? Can you give me a 1 minute rundown?
Yeah, I think for the general purposes, honestly, it's just the next evolution of the internet. So kind of Web 1 was read, Web 2 was read write, and then Web 3 is kind of read write and own, where you have the ability to own your data, own your assets, and keep all that information where organizations will have to pay you for your customer data, hopefully here in the future, instead of continuing to extract and get it sold to them.
Okay, cool.
So it's more kind of ownership rights, property rights, and bringing that to the digital age.
Hmm,
Nice.
cool. Amy didn't introduce herself, but she owns Underground Admins
I do. I do that.
and also has an interesting tagline.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. I don't think, and you probably agree with me, I don't think job seekers should look at business owners or recruiters' headlines as an example of what they should do because we're doing something different with our headlines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're I don't know, it's just different.
No,
We
if I
own
could
our
touch,
own business and all that.
I think it's like the same as like a resume, right? Recruiters are not big fans of creative resumes because it's like the black and white that we want. The
Mm-hmm.
creative is what
Yeah.
takes away from the glam of you. So us as recruiters, we kind of have to have that show. We have to have that glam a little bit. Whereas you, the candidate, you want to be searchable. You want to be as
Right.
searchable as possible. We want to be as show offy as possible because
Right.
we are advertising. So
Right,
that's
we're literally parent mentality. Do as I
Mhm.
say, not as I do. We,
Right.
I'm trying to sell to people that will not notice me if I just say recruiter, tech, finance, and send them a canned email or DM that's like, this is what I charge. I have this many people working for me. Hire me. Like they don't give a shit. So I have to do something a little different. And I've changed my tagline probably twice a week, to be really honest with you. I changed my what is it called? My banner, my picture, because I want people to look even if they know who I am and I change it up. Like they might click on me by accident if they don't like me because I did something different, which I don't care. They might forget too. So anyway, anybody want to get your tagline picked apart? Maybe your LinkedIn a little bit. Raise your hand. Any brave souls? I saw Rudolph come up a second ago. All right, I got a couple people.
Got a few people.
Oh boy, Emily said she was absolutely not gonna come up here, so this is interesting. Nathan, see Nathan, yours is pretty standard, man. Amy, why don't you do that one?
Well, Nathan, you are muted in case you're trying to say something. Just putting it out there.
No, I'm being quiet.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Cool. So you've got full stack developer, and that's really it. Which is cool if someone's looking for that. I would take out Go Arc. I don't
This is the
know.
company he works for. Are you looking for a new job?
Yeah, I am looking for a new job.
Okay, so
Okay.
I would take that out. And then I would put in more skills like what the softwares, what technology are you
What
using?
stack? What stack are you on?
Yeah, but there's like 5 different technologies where I'm
Yeah,
proficient
I
in them.
see you got like
Mhm.
.NET Core. We actually could have
Yeah, we
used
worked
you
on
a
a
bit ago.
couple of those.
Back end. Do you have front end too? I'm guessing.
I have
Since you're
everything.
full stack.
Yeah,
Okay. And you have C
yeah.
sharp. Yeah, I mean you have a lot of stuff. But I would put the most sought after, which
hmm
is definitely that .NET Core. Um, Probably the Azure, C sharp.
You literally have everything, Nathan.
Yeah, he does JavaScript, Python.
Yeah, I don't want to look like I'm trying to bait anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. What are you looking for in your next job?
I don't know. Job?
Okay. Okay. All right. We should. What?
Oh,
You're
you're
working
in
remote.
Israel. Cool.
Well, he's working. Are you in Israel?
Well,
Oh
well,
no.
not now, but like I live in California.
Okay.
I
Oh,
work
okay.
usually remotely, so
hmm
doesn't
I
really
see.
matter.
Well, if I may add, and why I think you should definitely add some of those core skills, right? So I get that you have it all, right? But the reality is you want to tell just a little bit of the story and get us curious as recruiters, right? So you're not trying to tell the whole story.
Hmm.
You're not trying to get me to recruit you off of your headline. So just put exactly those core skills. So Python, right, is normally one of those languages that most recruiters are going to be looking for if you're a full stack, or whatever it may be that maybe you are targeting, or what you want people to look at you or to get curious about you about. That is what I would include in your headline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I definitely think the .NET, C sharp, and Python and Azure are ones that you should have on there.
Yeah. I mean.
And that's it, just the technologies?
Yeah. I mean that you're a developer too, but I
Well,
put your.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna stay, but
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
if you're targeting any specific industries, right? So I'm in emerging technologies. Are you targeting AI? Are you targeting blockchain? Are you targeting what are IoT? Like what is it that you're targeting as well? So put those keywords that number one, you want to get people curious about. Two, that you are targeting. That way, when I go into LinkedIn Recruiter and I put in my Boolean search, you'll come up higher on those search rankings with the things that I'm specifically looking for. But for the most part, right, it's very much just an advertisement of this is who I am and this is what I'm looking for, as much as possible, as much information as you can give on those, again, kind of those core responsibilities or whatever. And the way you could look at that is look at go on Indeed and look at 5 different job descriptions, get an idea for what it is they're targeting, and kind of work around that, and then play with it a little bit.
Yeah, but don't recruiters like see like 1,000 different profiles a day? They only can see like the top 10 words that we put in the tagline. All the rest, they won't go into depth in
Well, if you
each
get
and
them
every
to
one.
click. All right,
Well,
let's real quick just.
if I do a search and then those words are in your tagline, you'll come up more
Okay.
towards the top. It's like keywording almost, like SEO for your profile. So, like, for example, I know GoArc is in like oil and gas, chemical stuff. If that's what you were into, if you had that
Yeah.
in your headline as well, if I was
Big
looking
industries.
specifically for people for that, then you'd come up higher in my search.
Okay.
And they're going to click your profile and see the whole thing too. And the other part, I don't know if you're commenting a lot and interacting a lot, Nathan, but if I am on somebody else's post, I did this the other day with a DevOps guy, and I see DevOps with Azure. I clicked on his profile because I saw the very first part of his profile, his tagline, because I need that kind of person right now. And I ended up getting a resume from him, just from him commenting on some random post that someone else liked. So that's part of it too. So you want to put those popular skills up front, like Scott has here, software engineer, Java, Python, JavaScript. If I need a guy like Scott and who's commenting, which Scott does, Scott interacts all the time, I'm going to click his profile if I don't know who he is, and then I'm going to read the whole thing.
Okay, so I need to start putting my clickbaiting skills to use.
You got it. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's marketing.
Damn. I was hoping it won't come to this.
Nathan, you are so experienced with so many different skill sets. I think you'll probably be okay.
I think Richie's about to recruit you.
You would think that.
I can tell you right now, are you you need remote. You're in California against everybody else.
I don't need remote. I can like relocate anywhere on my own expense. It's not a problem for me. But just like people don't like, they see Israel, they're like, no, it's not in my area.
Well,
yeah, because you worked in Israel, even though it was remote. It's confusing.
Yeah, so they think you're probably.
Hey, they have a high technology system over there.
Yeah,
right. A lot of jobs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we biz dev people in Israel because they have places to work here and remote and everything else. So, yeah, cool. All right, that help a little bit? Cool, man. All right, I don't know who's next. Thanks, Nathan.
Richie will be hitting you up later.
Maybe Rudolph. I think Rudolph was the first person to raise their hand. So, what's up, Rudolph? You're muted. Do you maybe not want to talk? And you left. Okay. I don't know who was next.
Might be restarting.
Oh yeah.
Emily, maybe.
Hello.
Hey, Rudolph.
Oh.
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right.
Man, you know yours is good. I sent somebody to talk to you the other day about their profile and their career path and stuff. So, I think for you, me and you talked on. See, this is a little unfair. Me and you talked on the phone. Amy, why don't you? I recruited him before, so.
I mean, I was just looking at it. I think it looks good, you know. I don't know if you have any certificates. I mean, obviously, he's Scrum Master, but
he's got certificates. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the only other thing I would add.
Okay.
I mean, that safe certificate will help you.
Oh,
you could add that. because and he taught me about the him and Philip taught me about how there's two schools of thought as far as a safe, agile thing.
Oh, did I teach you that, Richie?
Yeah, you and Philip had opposing viewpoints. Opposing viewpoints, but there are companies that really want to see that. So, but then there's guys like Philip that won't work with it at all. So, you know what I mean? So, but it is good because you will get recruited for it. I mean, not everybody has it. Not everybody follows it. So,
the only thing I would suggest, and I don't know if this may not be applicable to you because maybe you're just open to everything, but if there's any way you can niche down your profile anymore to what you're looking for, and I'm not saying put that in your headline by any means because
Okay.
that's valuable space, but in your about section, looking for a role again in oil and gas and emerging technology in big tech, and if you can nail it down a little bit more, again, when recruiters like me are looking for, I love seeing that because it quickly lets me know, okay, boom, I need to talk to you.
I got you. Hey, Kevin, I just started following you. Yeah. So, on a personal space, Richie, is it great? Like, on my actual resume itself, like, um, what I've listed and basically my accomplishments. Do I have to list like the area of accomplishments, be it like, in the insurance field, in the health?
No, I've submitted your resume. I think your resume is great, and I fixed
Okay.
a lot of bad resumes. So I, you're good. I think for you, it's just you're in a highly competitive market right now. Everybody has a Scrum Master cert. Everybody wants to be a project manager. I really think for you, you're just going to have to find the right recruiter in the right role. And I know that sucks to hear, but as far as me screening you, me submitting your resume, that one fell apart. I don't know what happened with it. We don't even work with that company anymore. So, you're not doing anything wrong. I see you commenting. I see you pushing out what you're doing as far as looking for something very professional. You're not doing anything that would take away from anybody wanting to hire you. You're doing everything right. Unfortunately, it's just so competitive right now. That's real. I know it's terrible to hear, but I've submitted you, and I don't submit just anybody. So I don't know if that's very comforting, but it's kind of where we're at with it. If I get something else, you'll be the first person in on one of them. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, but what I've been doing is I do constant learning, constant improvements. I join a lot of community of practices to meet up the challenges, then work itself. Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the
Cool, man.
insight.
All right. Well, we appreciate you
Thanks,
jumping
Rudolph.
up.
All right.
All right.
I saw Sean and then he left again. All right. Emily, you weren't going to do it.
For talking with me.
Oh, because I left you hanging when you asked me.
No,
That's
it's
what
on
happened.
purpose.
It's okay. And I kind of started troubleshooting it already. I went to another meeting and I adjusted my headline, but Amy's kind of helped me troubleshoot it already. In the meeting I went to before, they said, check your analytics. And if your analytics are showing you're not getting the right searches, then you need to change your headline. So mine was more specific, and then I changed it to be more general. And based on what Amy said, I need to change it to be more specific because mine just says finance manager, but there's tons of different types of finance managers. Right. So I mean, I want to be found for the type of finance manager I am. So I'm a job seeker, obviously, so I'm thinking about changing mine back to corporate FP&A manager.
Which you had before, but you had risk or something.
Before, and then I changed it based on that info I got that I thought was solid. And then I'm thinking about taking off BOA because, I mean, obviously, I don't want to work there anymore. And then I'm thinking about putting multiple top 10 banks. And I don't know if I want to put any more, and here's why. Because when I'm reading comments from people that have super long taglines, I find it hard to read. What do you all think about this?
So I think you can make it as long as you want, because if someone just searches LinkedIn for people and they're looking for a certain skill or technology, software, whatever, you're going to come up, even if that's the last word on your headline, you're going to come up higher. But of course, put the most important stuff at the beginning, because like you said, people only see the first, I don't know what it is, like 10 words or something of your headline in comments and whatnot.
So here's my thing with that. I agree with everything except for listing out the banks. Bank of America. Okay, so compliance, controls, risk, all that is hot right now. Those people are getting hired.
Right.
The only thing, and I'm not even a proponent of saying X meta X whatever.
Sure.
Sometimes that feels desperate. And you're touting something you don't do anymore. For Bank of America, if I'm hiring for Wells Fargo in compliance, I'm either looking for a Deloitte person or I'm not. I'm looking for KPMG or I'm not. And if I'm not, I don't care if you were at Bank of America. I'm not searching it. So it's not. I get it. It's a big institution. Same thing with Wells Fargo. There's great things about it, but there's also some horrible history with it that might turn people off that you don't know why or who is looking at your profile. So I'm not a proponent of putting my ex big employer on a tagline, just for that simple reason. We want to do anything to eliminate hurdles that we can. So in some instance, that could be a hurdle. I would have more about what you do in banking right now: compliance, anti-money laundering, risk, controls. Those are words that you want. Audit.
Right. Business development, change agent, with the current climate, business
because look at
development
what's
is
getting
everyone's
hot. Use the space for what people are getting hired for.
Okay, cool. Really helpful. Thank you so much.
And then I'll just add to that. The reason why that is the case is because 9 out of 10 recruiters that you're going to interact with or that reach out to you, they're finding you on LinkedIn Recruiter, not on your actual profile, like organically through they're scrolling or whatever.
I was going to say that too, like the chances of seeing your comments.
Well, so to that end, it's going to be a very direct search. Again, a Boolean search with likely, if they find you via a different bank name, there's still, what appears in the LinkedIn Recruiter via our quick preview, we see the companies used to work for. So it's quickly identifiable to us. And then to the other point, personally, if you are trying to, and apologies if I missed this, but if you are sticking in the FP&A sphere of finance, I would personally put that back to that, because yes, finance manager is very broad, and generally whenever I've looked for FP&A, again, specifically, I have that with those keywords that are associated with them versus the more broad finance manager.
Well, I don't have to stay in FP&A, but like finance manager could mean a branch finance manager. I mean, I don't want to be a branch manager, but I mean, that's an idea to get more hits than less. I mean, that's an idea to consider. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I mean, some recruiters that are new might look at it and think you were working at like a Charles Schwab as a, advisor in this market.
Right, and that's very different. Yeah.
The other thing I will note, Emily, which is outside this headline, is on your experience at your last 2 roles, there's no nuance that you've written.
Right.
So I would fill those out. It just makes you even more searchable,
Yeah. And I need to add my at the very least, I need to add my summary from my resume and just stick it in there until I make the time and stop being lazy. I just need to do that real fast.
Oh yeah, sorry. I wanna harp on that real quick. Yes, your LinkedIn is an SEO landing page. It is a search term. It is a key term. So yes, I would highly recommend you almost transpose your resume onto your LinkedIn, because the reality is, honestly, 98% of every client I've ever had, after I send them the beautiful LinkedIn resume, they want the resume too.
Yeah,
So
every
it
single
makes no
time, no
sense.
matter what. The LinkedIn resume is so hard to read if it's not formatted right anyway. Like, you pull it up, if there's a bunch of stuff in the about in the top skills, it blows the PDF out so it's sideways basically. It's so weird to look at. No hiring manager I know accepts that for a resume.
Yeah,
Not
but
one.
back to the SEO thing, like I submitted people for jobs who they had their whole LinkedIn profile all filled out, keyworded, SEO, blah blah. They have like 5 connections.
Mhm.
And, it's just to show that it doesn't matter how many connections you have or if you're commenting and posting. Like, if I'm searching for you and you come up, like,
Mhm.
that's it. That's all you need. So
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
spend more time working on your profile than, commenting and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably maybe 20% of the time that I submit someone that approaches me. I'm finding them. Most of the time, the people that are hitting me up, I don't have a job or
I don't think I ever
whatever.
submit someone who
Oh, I have. I mean,
hardly.
no, Rudolph was a referral. I submitted Emily to something that she was so overqualified for. It was
Oh yeah, I
insane.
remember that.
Um,
Well, I feel like for those, it's like making money while not working, right? Like
mhm,
the comments, like that's working for you in the background. That's that like you put this effort in, and then it works for you for the next 2 weeks.
mhm,
Whereas that landing page, once you get that thing down, then all you have to worry about is, or you more so what you're focused on is who you're targeting, who you're reaching out to, who you're commenting on. Now you have more time to search those individual people that you want to be in their sphere and in their influence, and you want them to see
mhm.
you. So that's why really nailing down that landing page is important, because from there, then you can spend all your time on the more creative parts of trying to find the job.
Yeah,
Right,
true.
right, exactly. Yep. Cool. All right, Emily, thank you. Very brave, very brave. Scott, we already harped on you a little bit, so why don't we go to you next? Or used you as an example. I really didn't harp on you, but
That's okay.
Scott, I mean, I use yours as a good example. I hate emojis and taglines, but you know, um,
That one's not bad.
no, it's not. It's not distracting. So,
You got Node. That's good.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, you hit everything on your
yeah,
tagline for sure. Wayfair.
And you included your resume top
yeah,
front center. Good, smart.
yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
You got the resume and you're featured.
yeah, that's a trick that not a lot of people do.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to make something featured. I just click the button on my post. I know Amy has her stuff in her featured.
All right.
yeah. You can
Yeah, this is good.
reorganize your featured items. You can add web pages, all kinds of stuff. So, definitely something to look at if you have not yet. But the resume
Hmm.
is awesome because I will go on there and just download someone's resume and um, call them from there. And then I already have it. Like, there's no back and forth about give me your resume and, let me scrounge it up. I'm on my phone, whatever.
I want to use Scott as a really good example here. Scott, did you do this or did you pay someone to do this?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Cool. So I didn't hear anybody when I was talking earlier, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
shoot!
okay.
You might not be able to hear me." What are you asking if I paid someone to do?
Did you pay someone to optimize your LinkedIn or did you do it?
I did this whole thing myself. I've spoken with people. I've kind of gone through it and taken advice that I liked and gotten rid of the advice that I don't.
Hmm.
The about needs a little bit of work. The the different experience that I've got, someone told me to tell a story with it, so I started, telling a story with like little sentences and blurbs and
Hmm.
bullets. Just kind of if someone clicks on any particular part of it, they just kind of see where I was at that time and what I did.
Hmm.
But a lot of this stuff is mine.
That's
If
Yeah, it looks
awesome.
great.
if I may, I feel like your profile is an example. It's an example of something us recruiters say without context that we probably should give, which is we only spend 7 seconds on a resume. The other part of that that we don't explain is once we see what we need to find in that 7 seconds, we then spend the next 10 minutes on your resume, and to that point is in your about section. I like the way you did it because if from your headline, which is worded well, I know that you are a good candidate for me. I'm immediately going to go to your, at least personally, I'm immediately going to go to your about section. And when you're doing the showing doctors how to use and new features, now when I have an idea of how it is that you've used your skill set, again, that makes it a lot easier for me, who has a very specific role, to want to reach out to you. The only thing I might add, if you know, is again, like in the headline, what you're targeting, or the industries you're targeting, or more specifically what you're targeting. If you can get any more niche about that, it's more likely you're going to get reached out to by the thousands of recruiters that are out there searching on LinkedIn Recruiter right now, versus any broadness that you have. So just the more you niche down, I know it's counterintuitive, it's actually better. You'll likely get reached out to better. But otherwise, looks great. Really like the about section.
That's awesome. If I can just ask for one piece of feedback from Richie, Amy, or you, Kevin. What did I say? Something stupid?
No.
Just funny.
Oh, I keep getting hit up for senior software engineering roles, and I am I don't have that experience yet. I need to figure out why I'm getting those messages, because I get so excited when I see a recruiter reach out and then it's for a senior role and I have to have the same conversation yet again.
Okay,
Some
but
of this is companies reaching out and labeling something as a senior, but it's not really a senior. So I qualify and then I submit and I maybe have like a hiring manager screen.
Yeah.
But
And then
I don't.
Can I?
Because go
Can I
ahead,
say,
Kevin. Yeah, yep.
you can't filter for shitty recruiters. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Exactly where I was going.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm gonna teach you something, Scott. There's unfortunately a lot of recruiters that are not good at what they do, and I'm not trying to be an a-hole here, but it's a reality. So here's exactly what I know exactly what you mean, because it would only take a recruiter that knows what they're doing 12 seconds to look that you've been, at least it looks like according to your profile, doing this since 2020. So I would know any role that's in the 5 to 10 years is probably not applicable to you. And to that point, the problem is your headline reads so freaking senior that junior recruiters that don't know what they're doing are excited as AF, and they reach out to you, and that's what happens. Their excitement, unfortunately, leads to your excitement that you shouldn't be having, because they should do their job better.
I
No
was about to
offense.
say exactly that. Like, they're just seeing your profile looks really good. And so exactly like what Kevin's saying, they're just seeing it and getting excited and aren't actually looking at how much experience you have. And then they're like, oh shit,
Senior's so loose for a title anyway now, because you're saying
Yeah,
entry
you could be
level.
senior 3 years, but
Yeah. And the other thing is the solutions engineer job looks like 9 months, and that's not really engineering.
mhm.
Yeah, and it is too, just like Kevin said. First of all, you're very active on LinkedIn, right? So,
Yeah.
like I said, I notice you every time you comment. I look at software engineer. I probably clicked on your profile 300 times at this point, because I
I'm
do get
sorry.
those. No, it's okay. The mid-level role, it's gonna work in your advantage eventually, right? So I do get
Hopefully.
those mid-level roles that you just kind of fall short on. You've got 6 months of seeking a new opportunity that's going in there too. Um, but yeah, your profile's so well put together. If I'm a brand new recruiter, which I once was, and I hated my job, I see you with this really well put together LinkedIn, and I'm not going to go very far with it. I'm just going to submit you, honestly, with your
But
tech stack.
but that's where I go back to my earlier point of you niching down.
Mhm.
So hey, so just I'm a big experimenter. I'm a big A/B tester. I'm a marketer at heart. I would test some way to word looking for, maybe not junior roles, but hell, maybe you put not looking for senior roles. it's kind of like a Boolean search, right? No senior roles.
But then it'll still come up as senior roles.
That's actually
what's funny?
that's
I was
actually
doing
we just talked about this.
yeah, we were just doing this yesterday where we were looking for a sales. I was doing an example search for one of our recruiters, and I was looking at salespeople, and the first person who came up said, "No sales roles, please," in her headline. So she came up because of the word sales, you know. So if you put no senior, it's still going to come up for senior. I don't know.
If it's something, so it sounds, just based off of the feedback I'm getting from the three of you, it sounds like this is something that Scott has an issue with. Scott needs to build a bridge and get the heck over it, right? And
yeah, I
that's
mean,
just
you're going
the
to get
nature
hit
of the
up
beast.
with all the multi-level marketing. Nothing's going to stop that. You're going to get hit with you can have some stock in our company if you come and work for us for nothing else and hope it works out. You're going to get hit with those all the time. You're in software engineering. You're going to get hit with a million people that don't even live in the country that don't have a job for you just to get your resume too. So, I mean, that's what it is. Just filter them out.
you
And
know.
if you go ahead.
Go ahead.
If you get a recruiter screen, that's where you can say it. And I have engineers all the time say to me, "This doesn't really work for me. I'm not qualified for this." I have it, once a week where they'll be like, "I don't know. I'm not that close on it." And I'm going to make the decision right there, depending on the need of the company, if we can stretch it or not. And I'm going to tell the hiring manager, we're stretching this a little bit. That .NET Core role we were working on, it was hybrid in freaking North Atlanta, and they were very picky about certain things and not others. And if somebody saw the job description, a lot of them were like, I'm not good with AWS. And I was like, well, we can train you on that. It's one of those things too. You still want to do the call because it's a connection down the road. You don't have to do every call, but I would do most of them.
And I was just gonna add, and I'm sure this has never happened to you, Scott, but it's happened to me twice. Sometimes it's not you, it's me. So don't forget that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I really appreciate it, folks. This is very helpful. So it sounds like there's really not much else I can do to my LinkedIn and that I need to work on other stuff to be able to kind
even
of
Richie's
stand out.
screen, I get hit up like once a week for software engineering roles, and I have never in my life been a software engineer.
Yeah, we can't figure that one
There's
out.
just nothing, I don't know. I don't have it in my profile anywhere, so you just have to deal with that shit sometimes.
Yeah, I had blockchain in my headline for a while. I had to take it out because every other message was for me to buy their cryptocurrency. Hell no.
Cool.
All right. Cool, man. Thanks, Scott. Byron, what's going on, man?
Everything's well. I just want to say this is a very interesting crew. I'm really amazed. I'm learning so much from you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Byron.
I
Yeah,
don't
I can't
talk
really
that
do.
much, but I do acknowledge when people are helping me to grow, and this conversation is really benefiting me.
Awesome.
Cool, man. Yeah, it looks like you're pretty new to LinkedIn. Welcome to the shit show that LinkedIn is.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I think Celeste has been up here for a while.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm also I ended up having to babysit my niece and nephew at the same time, so I'm trying to multitask. So
I've been there.
Yeah. I know. But thank you guys for your help. I am transferring from education.
Man.
So I'm just trying to figure out how I can, get a reach from companies in hopes that I can either do training or customer success or project management.
Amy?
So you're trying to transfer into PM.
Just transitioning teacher, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard. I mean,
I know.
You're going to have to look for. Here's the thing, you're going to have to start at the very bottom. And that's all there is to it. You're going to have to start with like a project coordinator kind of role. Possibly not in tech, like operational project coordinator,
Okay.
and then go from there. And are you only looking for remote roles?
I'm also open to hybrid positions as well. I live in Ontario, California, so
Okay.
I'm even willing to, to drive to LA.
Okay, so that's good because the thing is, a lot of these like new project managers are like, I'm only going to take remote. And I mean, the truth is, that's going to be hard because even at the entry level, there's going to be someone with experience who just wants that job because it's remote. So if you don't have the PM experience yet, you're just not going to get a fully remote job, probably. The good thing is that ed tech companies do like to hire teachers. So definitely, like the biggest thing is you should do your research on ed tech companies and who's hiring and where you can get your foot in the door.
Mm-hmm. So, and let's talk about the tagline real quick. So,
Oh,
learning and
sorry, was that
develop.
what I was
Yeah,
supposed to do?
yeah,
I'm like going into strategy over here.
yeah. You're like career coaching her. Yeah. Learning and development. Why? Is my first thought here. So you want to be project manager, project coordinator. So, and you have learning and development. I don't think you need that. And this is another, you got a lot of mixed up job titles here.
Okay.
So customer success is totally different than project management. If I'm looking at it, if I see you commenting and stuff,
Mhm.
I know from looking at your tagline, you're a transitioning teacher. And that's because I've talked to a ton of y'all. So, um, I would probably eliminate some of that and make it like Kevin said, more niche. You don't want to be known as like this says I'm going to take any job I can to get out of teaching to me.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Yes, that's what I and without and that's again, it's not about it's just how you want to be perceived in the market, right?
Yes.
And again, I know it's very counterintuitive, but the reality is, so here's what most people don't understand about the search from a recruiter's perspective. Whenever we get in with a hiring manager, right? There's usually only like real shit guys. There's only like one, two, maybe three things we're looking for. Maybe if it's like a complex job, it gets more. But for the most part, there's very little things we're looking for in your resume. Very little skills. Like, for tech people, like if you got Python on there, I want to dig deeper. So it's niching down as much as possible. It's the more likely that a recruiter that's looking for something specific is going to look at your profile and easily and quickly identify that they need you. The more broad you are, to Ricky's point, and it's not necessarily that you're looking for any job, but it's that I can't quickly identify what it is you're looking for, so you're making me do work. I have 77 other jobs and 1,000 people in my queue. So as a recruiter, the easier it is that you can help me identify who it is you are and how it is you're going to help me, the more likely I'm going to reach out to you for that role, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Back to the headline, since I didn't understand the question. I would take out the years of experience at the end.
Okay.
And the social emotional learning thing, I don't quite know what that is. I don't know that that's important for project management.
And if you're using
Yeah,
it as something that's important to you, put it on your banner. You put
yeah.
your name on your banner, put other stuff like that on your banner. That you don't need that to be SEO, and that's
Okay.
what that spot's for.
Okay. Thank you for
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
Are there
And
any
like I said,
industries?
customer success and PM and L&D are all different things. So you just kind of have to choose what you're going for here.
And if I may, just real quick, Celeste, are there any specific industries? Is there any specificity in terms of what you're targeting, what you're looking at as far as jobs?
So I've had two interviews with two education publishing companies. I was hoping to get into that, but I've been trying to be more open minded of getting outside of education.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, well, there you go. That's pretty niche. But the more, for instance, that you dial that into your headline, again, not to beat this the dead horse here, but yeah, just the more likely you are that you will come up quicker in a search and again be easily identifiable. So I'll leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think ed tech is a great industry to go for
Mhm.
transitional teachers, though. Anyway, even if it's just for a couple of years while you're getting into your next thing, I think it's just a good way to go.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate all your feedback.
Yeah, for sure, Sloss. Thank you. Either Belinda or Daisy.
Hi everyone, this is Belinda.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Oh,
Hi.
actually, I'm really enjoying everything you guys are saying here. I kind of already picked up a lot of stuff, and I'm see where I've been making mistakes. But I just came up also. Maybe you guys can have something specific to tell me per my profile. I'm
Mm.
kind of looking into a project manager role. I just got in the space of project manager, so
Mm-hmm.
for me to gain more space to be comfortable to apply in a project manager space,
Mm-hmm.
I'm volunteering in the PM summit in Phoenix. I'm already a member of the Project Management Institute, and I'm a member of one of the volunteers. So we are working now on the 45th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm open for a role for Scrum Master, a project manager. So what you guys are saying, like telling all the mistakes we have been doing, why we are taking forever to have that job. So I just came up also for you guys. I'm open for any corrections, any opinions, and any feedback about my profile and how I can go about with this search.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean, you have experience doing all this already, and your profile looks really good. Um, Maybe Kevin, you want to go in on the niche, or I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Again, not to harp on it, but yeah, I would just say again, and I will keep harping on it because honestly, just the more time that candidates can help the recruiter save like sincerely, and the easier it is to help them identify what it is you're looking for. Because we want to we're matchmakers, right? We also want to make sure that you're happy. So if we see that that you've put, hey, I'm looking for this in this industry, and I happen to have that role and you happen to have that skill set, well, it's a match made in heaven. And trust me, you've made my day by hopping on that call with me. So in your headline, agile project manager, that's great because obviously agile scrum master, you know, is there any more are there any more additional skills that relate to what you've done that you can add there that qualify what it is you're looking for in the future? So whether that, because I see you have DevOps skills, I know you said you're targeting project management, but depending on which, like, do you know what industry it is that you're looking for? Again, then, maybe I would include that. Um,
Yeah.
I would include, let's see.
I would include the SAFE certificate, or I
Yep.
mean, I see SAFE in your experience, so I would put that in.
And you mentioned
And
PMI too.
yeah,
Yep. You were going to say, sorry.
PMP, um, maybe even the lean, because some companies use lean. And then, you went from bank to healthcare. So I don't know if you're still in one or the other of those, in your next role, but maybe choose one of those. Like, are you, into healthcare implementation stuff or fintech or whatever? Like, choose one of those.
Okay. I didn't want to be so specific because I'm coming from a healthcare background. I've been working on healthcare
mm-hmm.
software. So I was kind of maybe like transitioning to get something new, to get in a new space, get other,
Mm-hmm.
you understand, another environment.
Right.
And
It's not really the market to do that, though.
okay, okay,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look at like you have so much competition. You have to take advantage of what you're really good at.
that is true.
So,
Yeah, I hate to give that advice,
That
but
is true.
it is just so unfortunately factual right now that right now it really is. It's kind of I have more people than I can ever remember taking kind of bridge roles in
Mm-hmm.
between, just to make sure roof, food, and clothes are okay. And so yeah, this is gonna. I mean, yeah, entry level is something. If entry level before was like 2 to 3 years, it keeps
Mm-hmm.
it keeps accelerating. So it is absolutely getting harder and harder to get that foot in the door role that would have been
Mm-hmm.
so easy a year, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Those are almost non-existent, like in terms of like going to a new industry and stuff. That's why niching down as much as you can versus being broad right now is
Okay.
actually going to get you those wins, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for very specific skill sets to fit very very specific needs or problems that businesses have, because they're not in growth mode, they're in maintenance mode or fix this problem mode right now, so we can maintain what we have.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the honest feedback. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Belinda. All right, Daisy.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm happy to be here. I'm also happy and ready to be roasted and advised. Now, is my profile okay? Do I need to change anything? I'm ready for the advice. Thank you.
Yeah, I looked at yours. I mean, are you okay? So you are virtual assistant, customer service, customer. I see all this. I'm gonna guess you're applying to roles in the United States and things like that, reaching out, direct messaging people for work, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, especially I've talked to many people right from where you're at in Kenya. You have such a tremendous growth in your tech sector right now. Eventually, we'll be able to hire people from where you're at. Right now, we can't. So we're in a recession. People don't have jobs. They're unemployed. They're all open to work. It would take a lot of people to get through that all didn't fit to get to you and be able to do that. So probably your problem is because it's not profile.
Well, she's open to work in EMEA in Kenya. So,
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know the rules over there. Why don't you help them?
um, okay then. So, I mean, I think it looks good. I think that I would put more skills, because you have the word customer over and over and over again, which, that's fine. But you're kind of saying the same phrase over and over in a different way, which I get why you would do that, because there's so many words for pretty much the same role. But maybe go into more of your skills, like, do you have any like Asana skills, or like email management? Like, what do you do as a customer or virtual assistant customer specialist? Like, what technologies do you use? Something like that.
Okay. So for skills, in regards to customer service, mainly it's just emailing and doing most of in and outbound calls. And when it comes to tools, it depends with the company. I'm mostly conversant with Zendesk, and I've listed the tools there. But mostly it's just emailing, outbound and inbound calls.
Yeah, so I would add all that into your headline.
Okay.
And then of course I'll come back and every broken record here to to put in the niche piece. But for VA, EA, anything like that, I always recommend, a lot of my friends that have worked in finance, right? They'll put finance EA or finance VA. But if there's anything specific that you've supported, oftentimes, especially if you're reaching out to individual people, they love to know that you have like the business logic of whatever industry it is that you're helping with. So if you've worked in finance, then you'll have a lot of knowledge about the finance industry. So oftentimes that will help as well. So again, if there's any more information you can include to better identify who it is you support and how you can support them with your skill set, That's going to help you win more and more as well.
Thank you.
I think Abby Sheck was next.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for hosting me here. Yeah, so I've been working as like a software engineer for about 3 years now, and a lot of the roles that I see currently are just like senior software engineers are also the ones that I get reached out to about. And I don't know, how would you guys go about addressing that? Because I know you guys also addressed it with another individual on here already, but just wanted to see if you guys could take a look at my resume or LinkedIn feed, whatever thing.
So you have the same kind of headline that Emily had, where it's like title at whatever company. Are you looking for a new job?
Yeah, I'm open to
Okay.
a new job, yes.
So,
I put in like all the, I guess like the ideal roles are in open to work category as well. I'm not sure if you can see that.
No, so yours is not public, so I'd have to get on to Recruiter to see that you're open to work, which you can change that if you want to. If not, that's fine. But I think in the headline specifically, again, I would put what you're working with. So, there's so many kinds of software engineers, like what tech stack are you using, what languages, all that kind of stuff. And to save Kevin, industry. So, what are you trying to be in right now?
I'm open to any industry. I'm not industry specific at the moment.
All right, so he's not niching down Kevin. Anyone, Richie, you have anything to add to that?
Sorry, I had to take a phone call real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to add there was, number one, I see that you're in data AI. I mean, AI, if you want to talk about any industry that is actually hot right now, that's it. So I would be leveraging the heck out of anything and everything AI, just just from a just from a if you have that experience right now, it just or shoot, even if you have AI on your profile, I just know the amount of recruiters that are looking for folks with that skill set. So I would leverage that as much as you possibly can, is what I will say. But to Amy's point, yeah, what the context is of not putting that role there, it's because it's active versus passive candidates. If you put your role at Amazon, at Microsoft, then to me you're an active candidate, and it's way less likely that you're going to actually reach back out to my message. So if you don't include that, then it looks less like it looks less like you are happy where you're at and not looking to go somewhere else. Does that make sense?
I see. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
All right, cool. I think Patricia is next here.
Hello, thanks for having me on. My dilemma is I'm one of the mortgage professionals that seem to be off limits to everyone, but I try to make my tagline where I could show that I have experience that are transferable. So my last position was as an underwriter. And I feel that I could also be a financial manager, like in an auto industry, approving auto loans, things of that nature. I've done fraud, forensic underwriting, fraud reviews. So I feel I could, work at a bank to do fraud investigation. I've done compliance reviews, audits. So I tried to put those headlines or taglines in my profile. I don't know if I'm too broad. I don't know if it's confusing. So if I could get some feedback on that, I'd appreciate it.
I'm back. I added the guy that just left.
Richie's
So,
really the
yeah,
most experience with the finance world.
I just right off the bat, take mortgage underwriter off.
Okay.
You apply to those jobs, send your resume if they're open. I've seen people get hired right now with underwriter experience in underwriting, so it's not totally off the table, right?
Right.
But when I was recruiting for compliance and audit, if I saw that first, you might be qualified for it, but during the layoffs there were so many,
Right.
and we couldn't push it past the hiring manager. They would say no matter what as soon as they saw your LinkedIn.
Right.
I would take it off. I
Okay.
mean, I normally would tell people to be transparent and be upfront, but y'all are in a crisis right now
Yes,
with
exactly.
that. And I mean, I'm just being straight. You do have the auditing skills. You do have the compliance. You actually have anti-money laundering somewhere. I just saw
Yes,
it.
yeah, I do have anti-money laundering. Yes.
That's a
They're
big
I mean,
one. You
yeah,
see
that's
that a
huge. They're
lot.
hiring for
Yeah.
that.
And I have
I
my
target those jobs.
yeah, and that's what I've been doing. I do have several certifications. I'm almost finished with getting one certification, audit investigations from the Financial Crimes Institute. So I do have all of that, and I try to list that on there. It's also listed in my education.
Right.
I have it listed in my skills, and I'm not looking to get back into mortgage underwriting. I'm really
Right.
not. I'm just done.
So where it says open to work, that's the first thing. Like on the jobs that you're open to do, it says senior
Okay.
mortgage
Yeah,
underwriter,
yeah.
fraud
Okay.
analyst, AML. So if you're not wanting to do mortgage underwriting again, I would take
Okay.
that out.
Right.
Okay.
And add KYC if you have it,
Yes.
ESA,
Okay.
AML, because those recruiters, unfortunately, going back to this, they don't know what those even mean, honestly. So I didn't. When I started recruiting for it, I was like, what? We're doing it. AML, KYC, MICKEY, cool. And then I put it in the search and I found everybody,
Right. Okay.
the acronyms in that circumstance, do it all day, because you're going to pop on a lot of searches that are going on right now for massive banks.
Okay.
You're in Farmington, you should be able to get a job out there, hybrid. There's a lot of banks in your area. Are you how close to Detroit are you?
40 miles. I'm in a suburb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I say something that Richie just said that,
Sure.
again, I just love lifting veils and giving more context, but Richie said something that is so true about, I think oftentimes candidates give recruiters a bit too much credit. When I first started as a recruiter, my first 2 years, I had no idea half the acronyms I was searching for. I just knew I needed to search for them and find them. So, and that's why I harp on, you have to tell your own story, because if you're relying on a recruiter to put your transferable skills together, they will never be able to do it. 90% of them can't do it. So so what the advice I have to give to most people, it sucks because it's going to be that it's hard work with you figuring out how to display your transferable skill set to the right people. I don't know if that's you hopping in their comments. I don't know if that's you direct messaging them. I don't know if that's you, taking on some project to show that you do have this skill set. But in 2023, with social media and the free way that you're able to communicate those things, and with the amount of competition, absolutely, I'm a blockchain recruiter, so I know a lot of what we're doing is the reason for a lot of these issues. It's finding a way to communicate your like seriously your uniqueness, that transferable skill, that what you've done and how you've done it and why it's going to fit for these type of roles. If you're relying on a recruiter to do it, it's just not going to happen more times than not.
Yeah. I'll say Richie's brother threw me into doing some bank stuff, money stuff, whatever. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, KYC, AML, blah, like I didn't look up the actual words. I don't even know what KYC means right now. So using
Know your
the acronyms.
Know your client. It's know your client.
Yeah. That's all it is. And BSA is Bank Secrecy Act. Like they're so simple, but you never think of it. But I'll tell you what, the internal recruiters at those banks that worked on that stuff for years, some of them didn't know what they might know the acronym, but they didn't know what the people actually did that they'd been recruiting for years too.
Right.
So
Well, it's not our
that's where,
job to know what they
yeah,
do.
it's not, but you do have to be able to ask the right questions. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that you've got a hurdle here. You're gonna have to, if you don't want to be in mortgage, get it off your profile. Just get it off.
Okay.
So you can explain all that once you hook somebody, right? You're gonna have
Yeah.
to. I'm gonna know when I get into it that you're a mortgage person anyway.
Right.
But there's it's all, we're in a clickbait world. Get
Right.
people to look at your profile. They're
Absolutely.
probably gonna guess it anyway.
Right.
But you have the chops. You got to get them to look at your profile, take a resume, look at your application, and the best way to do that is open up strong. Put what you want first. So
Okay. Okay. Great idea. Thank you. I appreciate it.
thanks, Patricia. All right, Katie K. We're running out of time.
Yeah, this might be our last one.
Yeah, this is probably our last one.
Hey, so I just wondering if you guys could look at my profile because I put emojis and I'm kind of like on LinkedIn a lot. Should I not be? My husband's in PR, and so I blocked him for a while because he said I couldn't make comments on stuff. And do you guys look at that? Do you guys like I hype women? I'm all about anti-racism, and he said I need to be vanilla and just like not post anything if I'm looking for a job. Is that true?
Depends.
I mean, what kind of job are you looking for?
IT compliance. I'm a nerd.
Boy, yeah. I mean,
we need to work on that headline hard.
Yeah.
Really good. But,
Yeah.
So what you're saying about posting though, it really depends on the company because some companies are going balls to the wall with all that kind of stuff, and others are like, still corporate, men that blah blah. I don't want to go into that, but
Katie, you worked for PwC.
Yeah. And then I had a breast cancer scare, so I stopped working for a while, independent consulting. But I'm getting reamed for it because I tried to work at a national lab, and they said, "Well, why weren't you at a company?" They didn't like that I was an independent person. So because I have that gap, it's like I don't have credibility. But I had so much experience that I can audit with my eyes closed. Like
Yeah, you just knew all the acronyms we were joking about just now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Your headline's gonna kill you for.
Okay, so what should I do? Take out the emojis?
I mean, we talked about that a little earlier, but
I joined late. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. This is anything. I mean,
so the headline is does not tell me that you want to be an IT. What is it? IT compliance. I already forgot because I don't see it anywhere.
Okay.
So you need to put that as the first thing in your headline, like. The personality stuff is fine, but it needs to go after the shit that I actually need to see in order to reach out to you. Because I'm not reaching out to you because you bake cheesecakes, on the weekends.
People did. That's why people did. Isn't that funny? I got like 3 interviews for that.
For
they wanted to ask me about. Yeah, isn't that funny? The different firms, they thought I had personality instead of just boring.
Yeah, I actually think that'll work both ways. And exactly, it depends on your audience, right? So there are absolutely people that are. I mean, at the end of the day, 98% of all my clients want passionate people, right? And how do you show passion? You have personality, you have excitement, you have enthusiasm. So but it depends, right? There's going to be some organizations that they don't want personality, they don't want enthusiasm. So it's kind of a you thing. Like, there, as a result of you showing personality, there'll be opportunities that you'll never know that you missed out on. But it's up to you, dude. Does that matter to you? And is it more important to show that personality so that you're attracting the type of companies that would want people with personality? So I think it's kind of like that dichotomy. But
yeah, I don't want to be fake because I want to work somewhere that's like fun to work because I was in the Bay Area and they're fun, but now I'm in Washington and they're not.
And that's why my headline, Chef Curry with the jobs. I want people to know I have personality. When you hire me, know that I'm coming with that enthusiasm and excitement. So So I'm trying to attract who I want, and
Yeah.
in that same boat. The only reason why I take out the emojis is I think they take 2 or 3 character space. It's just so that you can input more, one more keyword that might rank you higher or might place you in another search that you might not have already always been in. But I don't think that takes away from the personality of the headline by you removing those emojis. Just to mention that.
Okay, thanks. And then should I
The
update my picture?
emojis are fine,
You
honestly.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
If you
fine too.
don't
Yeah.
need the space, like who cares,
Oh, thanks. And then
And
do I need
then
that updated picture? Because that doesn't look like me anymore.
oh, well, if it doesn't look like you, then I would
Okay, fine.
update
I
it.
like that look though.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
mean,
gold look.
I don't know if it matters, but you just want, if you get on a Zoom interview, you want them to know that that's you. I mean, if you look completely different, like you're blonde now, um, or something, then
No, I'm
feel free.
not just older.
The only thing I'd add is in your about section, I think you could utilize that real estate a little bit more to talk about what you've done, what you can provide, and maybe what you're looking for, or something in that realm.
Oh, good
I think
idea.
yeah, I would add that because again, just your profile is a landing page for SEO for people like us to search. So as much as you can include, and even within your job profiles, as much information as you can include, the quicker it is that I can identify that you have a skill set I'm looking for, the more likely we are to reach out to you.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I'm getting one more search. Should I put that in my title, or is that not a big deal? Because it used to be at CISA was a big deal. Now it's like there's so many certs.
Yeah, put a cert in for sure. Because
Thanks so
Yeah,
much. You
you
guys are
know
awesome.
what,
I mean, I
Katie?
do
What?
that. I search for people by certification. If that job says we need someone with ITIL, that's what I'm searching
Yeah,
for.
and we'll kind of go out on this. If you don't know everybody, find somebody who has a job in a LinkedIn
Hmm.
doing what you want to do that just got hired. And if you didn't get anything out of that, do that. Emulate people that have the job you want. Unless it's totally wild, don't copy mine. Don't be a recruiter either. But yeah, I think you have a couple things to fix, but you're really good
Yeah, and
experience.
like I don't think you should take out the Mini Cooper cheesecake thing. It's just have that at the end and in the front, but what you want, what your tech stack is, all that good stuff.
Well, thank you so much. You guys are so great to do this, and you make people's dreams come true. Just so you know, recruiters are amazing.
Aw,
That's
yeah.
good. We needed that one today.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're way over. Hey, I want to thank Kevin for joining us. Everybody that talked and was brave enough. We weren't mean at all, I don't think, to anybody. If we were, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure we were good. So we're gonna keep doing it every 2 weeks. I think the next one I've got a lot of questions about RPS and ATS again, and that was such a popular one last time. Maybe we'll do. I know you missed it. You skipped out on me last time, though, I believe. So
No, I left halfway through because I had
yeah.
a kid
So that was really
thing.
and forever, but I'm seeing all the goofy ATS. Somebody asked me about how, or told me they read every resume, even if it get rejected by ATS or AI in the ATS. And I was like, what? So I think we need to do a recap on that one. It was a really fun one. So anyway, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks, Kevin.
Appreciate
Thanks,
y'all.
Amy, for hosting. And
Um,
yeah, have a good. Oh, go ahead.
we are doing a resume review sale next week, so that'll
Yeah,
be
a
fun. You just
real
never
good
miss that.
one.
And yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Hopefully this helped everyone out.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks everybody. Bye. Have a good day.